Yeah. All right.
All
Wow.
right.
I didn't know when we were going live. Blake wasn't in my ear saying 3, 2.
Right now. That's when
Come
we're
on, Blake.
right now.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you all for being here. Nick, it's
Yes.
Mastermind Week. It's the last day of Mastermind, so we decided to have a live panel with all kinds of cool people. So that's Nick. I'm John. We should have everybody else introduce themselves real quick, starting at the top corner, which would be Mr. Polino.
Yeah, Blake.
Hello, everybody. My name is Blake Polino, Blake the editor, Blake the producer, whatever John and Nick decide they want to call me some days. Based in Texas. I have a wedding film company, Blake Polino Films, and a
Original.
commercial video company as well.
Love it. All right. The bait, Boomer, and or I'll let you guys introduce each other.
What's up, y'all? I'm Boomer.
I'm Sarah.
We're Multiply Media, and we're not that cool, but we're here. Thanks for having us on, John.
It's true. And you're welcome.
That's how I introduce you to other people. Not that cool. Not that cool. So, all right. Next, we have Ryan.
Hey everyone, Ryan Sims, based in Nashville. My film company name is Ember Nash Films, and happy to be here as well.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. And Darian.
Hi, I'm Darian, based in Indiana, and I'm with DE Media Design. Also happy to be here.
Okay. Now we'll go to Lindsay, who I don't think is happy to be here, but is begrudgingly here, right? Yeah.
No, I think we were invited just to make Multiply Media look younger and more attractive.
More contrast in their lighting.
You know,
Oh my gosh.
that's okay. I see what's happening here. We are Lindsay and Cherish, and we are Larev Films. And we were just looking for the bathroom. We got lost, and here we are.
That's good.
Didn't
That's
find
good.
it.
Yeah. And down in the corner, we have Emily. Emily, introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Emily, based in Phoenix, Emily Faye Films, and I have my little office assistant, Harper. Harper here with me. So be patient with me, everybody.
I love it.
Yeah, and in a moment, our friend Alex will be joining us. I know he was coming home from a shoot, but he's going to pop on here in about 10 or 15 minutes probably, so we will hear from him, and we'll let him introduce himself then. So, John, what are we doing here tonight?
Yeah, I was about to ask you the same thing.
Oh,
Man.
okay,
No,
cool.
I'm kidding. No, we have been getting lots of questions. We have literally been on hundreds of calls and messages this week about Mastermind. Whoa, I'm on screen by myself. Good job, Blake. We're trying out a new product tonight, and look how great I look. Oh man, now Nick's on the screen. But we are in the middle of launching our Mastermind group, been getting lots of questions, and we just said, hey, what if we bring on some previous Mastermind alumni, some people that have been guest speakers before, and some people that are going to be guest speakers this year that haven't done it yet. So we're just going to have like a roundtable discussion. If you have questions, you can drop them in the chat. Blake can throw them up on the screen so we can see them. And yeah, if you have a question about Mastermind, we're not here to twist your arm and get you to give us all your money or anything like that, but we just want to find the right people that are looking for this kind of a year-long training. So that's kind of what we're up to. Nick, that's pretty much all I have.
Yeah. So tonight we are closing down applications for Mastermind. And so if you would like to do that, I'll have Blake put the URL in the chat there so you can click on that link. Or there's the QR code on screen where you can go there to apply to be a part of Mastermind. So what we're going to do is we're just going to ask our panelists a couple of questions and then open it up to Q&A. And tonight I want to start with Darian. And I want you to kind of talk about your experience with Mastermind a little bit, and what has being a part of Mastermind really done for your business this year? What would you say to that?
Yeah, so before I joined Mastermind, I was kind of looking for something like something basically like Mastermind where I could just talk to people, because in my area there's not a lot of wedding filmmakers or experienced wedding filmmakers. And so Mastermind was just great because I was able to talk to people who I looked up to for a long time. And just the community was like the biggest thing I got out of it, like having people to talk to, ask questions, and like be really vulnerable with. But then also it like throughout the year, it just gave me the confidence to like charge what I'm worth and know a little bit better of what that is. I almost doubled my prices from the beginning of Mastermind to now. And yeah, especially just having people to talk to. I did the VIP, which I think is what made it so worth it to me. Just being able to like hang out one-on-one with people I've looked up to since I started filmmaking, and just be able to sit around and like talk and literally have them like watch my wedding films and tell me like what I could do better and what I'm doing well. There's just so much value in that. And yeah, I feel like that the community is like the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, it's been really great, and it's been so cool. I remember like watching some of your work and like your website, just kind of seeing you where, you know, when we met earlier in the year, and just the evolution of your business and who you are as a filmmaker and how much you improved. And you know, it's like you did the work, right? Like you were the one that you know, took advantage of the opportunities before you, and you did it. But it was really cool to see you progress. And, you know, we're glad that we could have a small part in helping encourage you to do that. So that's really awesome.
Yeah, I love it that this is, I have the story. She remembers it one way, I remember it the other. But I met Darian at Venture like right after we started How to Film Weddings, and I was a guest speaker or podcast person. I sat down next to her and I was like, "Hey, I'm John," and she was like, "I know," and I was like, "Oh, I forgot that could be a thing." And then anyway, long story short, a few years later, she's invested into education. She's taken it seriously, and I've just watched her progress and grow and get to a place where people are asking her for advice. And like several people have messaged us this week saying like, "I'm friends with Darian, and Darian is doing so good, and man, tell me more about this thing." So excited to have you here tonight, Darian.
Thank you.
It's really been awesome, especially you joining VIP, getting to do the extra retreat and different stuff. And so it's been great. Lindsay and Cherish, question for you guys, just real quick. Lindsay has been to, I think, as many meetings as maybe anyone. He pops in and like is very involved and just like says hey and razzes me about filming in different countries that I won't say on the air, so I won't get harassed. But from you all's perspective, and you were at the retreat this last week, like what is Mastermind to you? I know that we didn't have this available to you way back when you started, but what is Mastermind to you all? And maybe explain from your perspective.
Yeah. No, I think Mastermind's great. I think, and I enjoy popping in and out, even though whether I'm invited or not. I like popping in and just, you know, seeing what you guys are talking about. And because I think even for myself, you know, as long as we've been doing this, you should never stop learning. And so if I'm available, I like popping in. I've picked up, you know, little things here and there, not only from, you know, John and Nick, but other students that are in the class each year. One of my favorite things to see is like people taking, you know, whether it's something we've talked about or one of the other speakers have talked about, and like seeing them apply it to their business, and you know how that changes their business and their lives. You know, I think about, you know, different people just where they were, you know, a year ago to where they are now is pretty cool to see. I enjoy that. I like seeing people succeed. And but yeah, it's a pretty cool little community you guys have built. What about you, dear?
I think what's amazing is too, not just having, you know, videographers speak, but outside of videography to get a different perspective. I know John's talked about it a lot recently, just in business in general and the wedding industry in general. We can learn a lot from people that aren't videographers. So it's great to see that in the Mastermind.
Love it. Love it. Love having you guys as a part.
Yeah, for sure. You know, as we've, and it's also really fun to have, you know, a celebrity like Lindsay who just kind of pops in every week, you know, to the meetings, and people like, "Oh, Lindsay's here!" Like, whoa, like I mean, I feel that whenever I see your name pop up, you know, in our little Zoom meetings and all that kind of stuff. So, it's really enjoyable, and I'm glad that you, it shows I think it shows that there is value to it, that you are one that is a part as an educator, but you're also one that like, hey, I'm going to invest in this and I'm going to learn and I'm going to see what I can pull out of, some of this stuff. So that's great. Thank you. Thank you for being a part. Emily, I wanted to touch you to touch on. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Whoa, what kind of mastermind is this?
No, you guys.
Nick, you're a married spud. You're a married spud.
Okay, like you just made it way worse. You just made it way worse.
Yes, thank you, Lindsay.
Emily, I wanted to have you on and ask you, because we've had lots of questions about people that are having babies. Oh my word! I've lost John. I blew it. Oh my word!
Don't say that.
Oh my word, guys! I'm so sorry.
Canceled. Just instantly canceled. All of it.
Instantly canceled.
Everyone left. Everybody left.
Should I be done? Should I just stop?
I got you, dog. I got you, boo.
You can ask a question now. Oh man.
Well, no, go ahead and touch Emily. Go ahead.
Oh, dude, you just made it even worse. You just made it even worse.
I got both my kids here now, so let's keep it rated G.
Yeah, Nick. Nick, go ahead. You can ask the question.
Okay.
I believe in you, buddy.
I am sorry. I stumbled over my words. I've been talking a lot today. My voice is tired. So we get a lot of people that ask us questions. Should they join? Is this going to be right for the business? But we have, some expecting mothers. We have some, couples with young children, and you actually had a little one, and then you actually had a baby this year while you were going through Mastermind. And so I wanted to ask you about your experience on going through that with having small children, having a baby. Was it worth it for you? Was it a good thing? Do you wish you wouldn't have done it? What's your perspective on all this?
Yeah, for sure. Because honestly, going into last year, I was super hesitant about joining Mastermind. I think she's like 4 months pregnant at the time. I was like, I don't know if this is going to be too much for me to handle, if it's going to be a waste of my money because I'm not even going to be able to tune in. But honestly, like, it was the best thing I could have done to like hold myself accountable to my business. My first was a year and a half when I started Mastermind last year. And when I first had him, like my business, I definitely took 5 steps back. So it was such a blessing this year to be able to like continue to grow. And I truly have Mastermind to thank for that, because coming in every week, I told myself, I was like, even if I'm busy, like I'm going to show up, I'm going to tune in. And I think it really helped me just kind of, keep that part of me that is an entrepreneur and having my own business. Sorry, you guys, this is just my life right now. But honestly, I'd say to parents of young kids, or if you're about to have a kid, don't be discouraged that your life is overwhelming and it's one more thing to add on your plate, because honestly, I don't know, you guys have older kids. When does it not get overwhelming? Stop being overwhelming. So I'd say if you're thinking about it, jump in and do it. You can always rewatch the lessons. You don't have to tune in live. But yeah, for me, it was just like a really big accountability thing. Oh, geez. Big accountability thing for myself, and really kept me on track with my business.
I love that. And it was awesome because you were like, hey, I'm 8 months pregnant, so I might not be here next week or whatever. And then it was like, you came back like, I don't know, the next week, and you had a baby in your arms, and just like a little bitty baby. And we've been watching your baby just get older and grow. And 6 months later, here we are. And so it was
funny too, because you only see your heads. I was like, I don't know if anybody even knows I'm pregnant. Everybody just sees my face.
Yeah.
Awesome. We knew when you had the baby for sure.
Yeah.
There was then a baby in your arms. No, yeah. And I love that, because I think no matter where we're at, we have something that's like, well, my daughter's in kindergarten this year, or my daughter's in whatever. I have this, or I just got, and we're not saying it's always right for everybody, but definitely we in the first year too, we had several people that were pregnant, had a baby, and loved the idea that they could go back and watch. And they were honestly like, I was able to like take a break from all the stuff and like just focus on my business, and it helped keep me pushing forward. So that's really good to hear from you on that for sure. Yeah. Two Arrow Films. Yes, we had 3 kids and pregnant during our first year, and it was still worth it. Yeah, they're the best. And they are the 2 Arrow Films. If you don't follow them on Instagram or YouTube or whatever, they're the ones that did our hype videos from our retreat, killing it. Moving on to Ryan Sims, my brother from another mother. My man, he won the Most Like John Bunn award at our award ceremony, which that's why you're here. Oh, he's
That's
yep,
amazing.
he's got it.
He's gonna pull it out right there.
Yeah, the most like John Bunn, most office references. He is the winner of that. Winner of my heart, of course. Why don't you tell us about your experience when it comes to the community, and just your overall experience with Mastermind?
Yeah, absolutely. So, for a little bit of background context, I was just entering my second year of business going into Mastermind, and I only knew one other videographer in real life. So the community was non-existent essentially. So, anytime I had questions or things, I didn't really have anybody to bounce off of, right? It was just kind of figuring out alone, doing self-guided help and just spinning my wheels, if you will. But joining Mastermind, the community was my favorite part of it by far. I definitely learned a ton from like the, technical side and sales and things of that nature. But community, I think, was just leaps and bounds above my favorite part. We had like breakout sessions during that first few months, and that really, I got to connect with people just on a more granular level and get to talk about business and whatnot. Now I'd follow them on Instagram and I'd chat with them through the year. And then that just kind of progressed until eventually it was on Zoom meetings. You were seeing familiar faces and getting to, type in the chat, and then we'd hang out afterward. After the regular class was over, we'd stay on and talk longer. And, and then just the relationships just started to just get deeper and deeper. Then by the time we got to the retreat, at that point, you're just meeting everybody for the first time physically, but you already know these people. And so it's just such a cool experience to get to actually hang out in person. And just the relationships got even deeper and stronger there. And I have a group of all my roommates from that trip. And so we text just about every day. We're bouncing business ideas off each other. And so it's, we have a workout routine that we do together. So it's just, it's going even above and beyond like just business. And it's just a personal friendship. And so I think that's going to continue for years to come. And that's just been a really cool thing that's gotten to experience in Mastermind for sure.
It was really cool watching the Bro B&B form, the bromances happen, all you guys, Bro B&B in the house. What's up, Devontae? And that's what was really cool about the whole retreat, because you are spending this whole year together on these Zoom calls. And, first month or two, you're just like kind of warming up to each other. And then like someone watches me crack a joke in the chat. And then it's like, oh, we can joke in here and we can have fun in here. And then by the time the end of the year gets here, it's like you can't even look at the chat because it's too funny and you can't focus if you're looking at the chat. And so watching you guys do the Bro B&B, taking your photos together out by the pool, all the stuff you did. And then I got to do a workout with the bros one morning. That was pretty cool. I think I'm an honorary bro, maybe. I don't know. But it was really cool to watch as these relationships were formed that never would have formed in any other way. Nick, I'm going to throw it back to you. You got this, buddy. I'm believing in you.
Man, I don't know. After, I think I might be banished from talking from now on. But, we have Boomer and Sarah, Multiply Media, on here, and they are speaking for the first time at Mastermind. They spoke at Calibrate earlier this last year, and we wanted to have them on. They are great, genuine people. And so from the outside looking in, like you haven't been a part of it, this is a new experience for you guys. And so you're kind of like our new students, that are kind of coming in. Like, what are you looking forward to? Like from the outside, like seeing all the stuff that's going on, like what gets you guys really excited? And then also, what kind of things do you plan on offering and bringing, to this community?
Yeah, 100%. We are here because we don't want FOMO anymore.
Honestly, every single year since we've been in the industry, probably almost 3 years now.
Yeah.
Like every year, just the community you guys have developed. I feel like we have a decent community in the world of wedding films. Like Denver is a pretty huge base for a lot of videographers. And so, yeah, I'm just excited to expand on that. And even just how dynamic this group is, even in this live, like you have a mom, you have like people who didn't know anyone when they first started out. It's just so cool how you're bringing something needed to like such a diverse group of people.
Yeah, I think the word like community has been used a lot, but I would probably go a little bit further to say like culture has been built. And I think it takes years to build something like this. And it was really cool to see of the actual like retreat videos and everything that was going on just from the outside looking in. It was like, man, like this is a culture that I want to be a part of. Hey, John.
It keeps throwing me on screen. Like I got to be ready at all times. I was about to.
I know.
Like,
Yeah. So I would say we're looking for, we obviously like we're speaking, but I think that's going to be really cool. But also I'm really looking forward to learning. We are musicians coming into this video world. And so I would say our knowledge is mostly audio and music. And that's what we're really going to be speaking on. That's what we feel most confident in. But there's a lot of things that we still feel very new to this world of wedding storytelling. Color is something that like, I wrote on my list that I want to get better at. We revert back to auto white balance like way too much. It's probably embarrassing like how little we know about our cameras. And so that is as well as us speaking. I'm so excited to be in the Zooms on a weekly basis learning. I think if we feel like we've reached a point where we know everything, like we're screwed. Yeah, it's bad. Like we always need to be having like a learning, and someone can teach us something. There's tons of very, very talented people, in the group, whether they're signed up or whether they're speaking. And we're looking to learn.
And all that to say, it's cool that we learned this very early on from videographers that we invested in mentorship with. Is just they kind of give us this feeling like if I can do it, you can do it. And I feel like that's what we're about to. Like we're not experts, but we've been able to build a really successful business. And so I just want to encourage other people in that too.
Yeah. And then as far as like what we're speaking on, we love music. We have a deep love for what it can do to a story, how you can tell a story through music and, audio, the five senses, learning more and more about there's obviously the visual aspect. We call ourselves wedding videographers, which refers to video, but if we're going to refer to us as videographers, we have to refer to ourselves as, audio engineers and music producers, because we're doing that as well. We're capturing visuals, but we're also telling a story through music and audio. So we're just really excited to be a part of this community. And I would also say culture.
Good answer.
Really good answer. Really good answer.
There's some swag on the screen. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? I'm just playing. I'm old. Okay. All right. So if you have a question about what Mastermind is, if you're here tonight, I know a lot of you had messaged me saying how see you on the live tonight. Post it in the comments and Blake will throw it up on screen there. I saw a question a little bit ago about something to do with our courses a little bit back there, Blake. I don't know.
Here it is.
There it is. Yeah. Red Rock Wedding Film says, you guys are great. Thanks. Just curious about the course. Can you sign up for just the course whenever, or is that timed like Mastermind as well? We have our course, the Complete Wedding Videography course that we open up a couple times a year. We're looking at late spring to open that back. It is separate from the Mastermind. This Mastermind is only open in January, and we only open it one time per year. It's a 12-month commitment. It's a group of right now around 60 people. Last year we had around 80, I think so. So we're at about 60 right now that all come together once a week on a Zoom call. Nick and I teach about half the time, and then the other half the time we bring in guest speakers for like an hour-long Zoom call once a week. It's recorded. You get access to it for life. And then at the end of the year, we do a big retreat in person. We just got back from Palm Springs. What? And then last year the year before we went to Scottsdale. And then this year we're going to somewhere new. So did I do this? This is Lindsay laughing at the what? No? Okay. Comments fine. Anyway, so that's the basics of it. The main thing I think that's like the unseen hero of all this is just the community aspect, being in the same room with the same people for a year, once a week, and then getting to be in the room with them in real life. There's just something magical about it. So
yeah, I wanted to say something too about the community. Some people might think to themselves, and they might scoff at like, oh man, I don't want to have to pay to be a part of like some sort of community. But what's nice about the mastermind is that everybody in that group is committed, right? They've invested in the community. These are people that are trying to grow their business or trying to elevate themselves, and so it's a qualified group of people. It's people that are hungry, that want to grow their business. That's the community you're surrounding yourself with. And it's like, why do you pay to go to the gym when you could work out at home? It's because you also want that emphasis on, or that motivation, like, okay, I'm going to go work out because I've invested in this membership to the gym. It's the same thing with Mastermind. Sure, could you get all this stuff for free somewhere else? Yes, you could, but it's different. It's not the same, and that's just something to keep in mind. If you're out on the fence, you're thinking, oh man, they keep talking about community, like that's seems like a buzzword they're just using, but it's true, and the community is much more invested because they have paid to be a part of it, and they're hungry to grow their business. So I've seen it. Again, I'm not. I hope I'm a part of the community. I'm like, I'm trying to sneak in the back door. They keep picking.
He keeps showing up. Yeah, here he is again.
But I've seen it. And then of course, it is what you make it too. I've seen people every year. A majority of them, they really are invested, and they seem to be the ones that kind of thrive. And then I've seen the people that they don't show up so much to the meetings, or they're not as involved, and maybe they do struggle. So it just as with anything, you get out what you put in. So
it's good.
Even kind of going off of that, even the Facebook group is different. Like, I don't know, it can be kind of intimidating to post on the Facebook, the How to Film Weddings Facebook group, but in the Mastermind group, everybody is on the same level of wanting to learn and again, investing in their business. And so just the conversations on there are just so much, it's different. It's better.
I love that.
Yeah. Whenever you have our Facebook group is, which if you're not a part of it, you should head over there,
It's almost as good as the Mastermind group. It's still good though.
Yeah. But I mean, it can be intimidating when there's 15,000 people in there, and there's people that are trying to be snarky, and people that are trying to be funny, and people that are just commenting stuff. And so I know that there's a lot of people that are very intimidated, and they have a burning question, but they won't ask it because they're afraid of the backlash, or afraid of someone making fun of them or something like that. But the Mastermind group, that's a part of the community, is we all know we're learning and growing together. And I can't tell you how many people have posted asking questions that for some might be considered basic, or, you should know this kind of information, but people don't respond in a, oh, I can't believe you don't know this tone. It's a, here, let me explain to you, let me help you so that you can know and actually learn not what the answer is, but how to apply it to your business. And so that's another thing that's really, really cool. John, here's a question. I'll let you read it online out loud.
Okay. Kayla says, so excited to join the Mastermind group this year. Kayla joined early. I'm really excited that you were part of the group this year. Just launched her business, Stringlight Films. Good plug there. After 20 years as a news reporter, anchor, shooter, editor. Sounds like our friends over at Penn Weddings. My question is for everyone. What's the best thing you did for your business in your first year? That is a question, and that it can be answered. And I don't know if I have time for everyone to answer that. But maybe Emily can pop over and answer that question. And Emily, also, if you need to go, you can go soon too. We don't want to keep you on when you're trying to keep up with your kids the whole time.
if you guys had only heard what's been going on this whole time, you actually caught me in like some quietness.
Oh, perfect.
Best thing I did for, I know, honey. Okay, this is gonna be the only question that I'm hopping off. The best thing I did for business in my first year, honestly, I would say is invest in education. I mean, obviously it wasn't my first year when I did Mastermind, but my first year I did invest in an educational course. And honestly, like ever since then, I'm like, I'm going to continue investing in my education because I think it's really the best thing you can do for yourself. I think when you're put in a position where you have to think outside the box and you're open to trying new things and learning new things, I really think it can just set you months, years ahead at certain parts of your business. So that's the best thing I did for me in my first year. But yeah, I do want to say thank you guys.
We understand.
I'm going to hop off.
Good to see you.
All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
She is awesome. All right. What other questions do we have, Blake, that we could pull up? I think I saw a couple in there about Mastermind.
We do. Hang on one second.
Boom. Good question. Nick, do you want me to answer that?
Yes.
It says, can you start with a lower level of Mastermind and upgrade in the future? The only part of that the answer is it used to be no, but this year we have a Mastermind Lite option that does not include the retreat ticket. And you can upgrade and add a retreat ticket into the year, but we're not upgrading once you start. We have a Mastermind that's like the standard, a plus that has mentor sessions and some branding reviews and some stuff, and then the VIP that has like an extra retreat and an extra meeting every month and an extra lots of stuff. And so you can't upgrade to any of those until after you've started. So hope that helps.
I have a question.
Yes,
Yeah.
I want to hear it.
It's actually about the retreat. I saw a bunch of, like posts about like I stayed up till midnight, having, this talk with this person or, and I'm just really curious about like, there's a lot of stuff on social media about, the party and the, pool parties and the dance parties and stuff. What, besides like the party, what actually like goes on at the retreat? I saw there was a shoot and, some talks. Are there like breakout sessions, stuff like that?
We should let Ryan or Darian answer.
Yeah, that's
that.
what I was going to say. What?
Or Cherish, because she got to go to that was the first time I get to meet Cherish in real life. She at the brunch. It was great. It was a beautiful time. Anyway, one of you three want to chime in, you can.
I can kick it off here. Yeah. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, Boomer, you're right. It's party was posted everywhere on social media because I think the hype of that is really fun too. But even at my group, and my group was probably the most party heavy of any of the other groups, for sure. There were still times like during the day where we would just talk like about like we did film reviews at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon for each other. We just sat around in our like living room. We just grabbed lunch and just like talked and like actually gave like good feedback. And everyone's in different parts of their businesses, right? Like years wise. So, just giving and trading good information back and forth in real time from peers you really trust, I think was huge. So that was one thing that definitely like stuck out to me. But yeah, I mean, you mentioned shoots. We did some shoots as well. We did Joshua Tree and then one at Old Polo Estate in Coachella Valley. And then even then, like I saw some of the guys like doing same day edits, like when we got back, I mean, at the house too. So just like cranking out content for their portfolio directly after doing those shoots was kind of just a neat thing to see and see that it's people's process for, downloading footage and just like culling through and quickly turning something over. So yeah, I think it was a really good mix of, work and play in the retreat. And so, yeah, it was just kind of neat to see everyone's like process for a lot of that for sure.
And a lot of it is, like you said, the in between. Like, I mean, I got to sit by, I got to sit on a van with Catherine from Blink Films and talk to her for 45 minutes and just have like just good conversation where you don't get that. And getting to sit by Lindsay at breakfast and just like talking to these people that I've always looked up to and just being able to have like a conversation like in between all the parties and stuff, like that's where a lot of the value was for me.
I love those intangibles. That's really cool.
Okay, my friend Aaron asked this question for the alumni. So the couple of you that are in here right now, what's a piece of advice you would give to new students as they go into this class? And is there anything that you would have done differently from the start of this? Like if you could start over again, is there anything differently you'd do?
I don't think I understand what the question is. With Mastermind?
Yeah. Like just like for people that have just joined that are in the chat, like what advice would you give them going into it? Or, you know, if you could start over again, is there anything that you wish you would have done, you know, in January and February of 2022 that you didn't do, you know, that you wish you would have done earlier?
I mean, I think you guys talk a lot about it, but you get what you put in. So if you're showing up to the meetings, like really applying yourself, doing the homework, I mean, they'll give you homework. If you're like putting everything you have into it, then you're going to get a lot out of it. If you're not going to show up to meetings, then you're not going to get that. And so I don't say I regret this because I did show up, but like just continuing to show up every day and like really applying myself that's my answer. I guess I don't really have a regret, but
that's good.
No regrets.
Nope.
No.
I mean, going off of Darius' point too, like, I mean, I kind of sat in the back and just listened to people ask questions that first month or two and just kind of just absorb, but actually like getting the confidence to dive in and ask questions to speakers early or to just John and Nick and just really just connect and kind of put yourself out there earlier. I probably wish I would have done that. And I feel like I had to kind of make up for it a few months in. So that's probably what I would say.
Yeah, from my perspective, being like the facilitator of Mastermind, like feels like we're pushing, like it's like, come on, please, like get vulnerable earlier, you know, join in earlier. Like, where are you struggling? And nobody wants to like let that wall down of like, oh, I suck at this. But as soon as somebody asks that question, then like 6 more questions about that happen. And so the more that you can just lean into knowing that, like, I've gotten to a place in life where I'm like, I will ask the dumbest, not dumb, but if I don't know the answer, I'm not going to like fake that I know it. And everyone in the room might just die laughing that I asked the question, but I don't care. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know I don't know what you're talking about. So getting to that earlier would be what I would recommend. And also we have a new friend joined us down in the corner there. What's up, Alex? Who are you?
I'm Alex.
There it is. All right, good. That's great.
What's up, everybody? How's it going?
Oh, good. It's good. So this is Alex. He's our friend in Florida. That's right, Florida. So we're all over the country tonight. You know, while we're kind of talking about, you know, what would you have added, you know, to the group if you have done anything differently, it kind of leads me to something I wanted you to just touch on really quick. It's kind of about, you know, how the meetings are set up and how we go about them and that stuff. And I just wanted you to talk about your experience, you know, being a part of the Zooms, if you got to ask your questions, and the rewatching if you missed it, you know, just your experience with how we set up the trainings and the Zooms and that stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Well, for sure, got to give the award to the most questions asked, which was Beach. No one topped that guy. Love Beach. But yes, you definitely get the opportunity to ask your questions. There's like, it wasn't like this sense of pressure of like, oh gosh, I got to ask a question or something like that. It was like a nice ebb and flow with things. Like John, I think you just mentioned it right now. Like sometimes we may not have a question, right? But all of a sudden someone says something that automatically sparks something and becomes like a domino effect. And I think I was able to catch what Lindsay was saying is that you get out of Mastermind what you put into it. So, you know, if you're kind of just like spectating and stuff, you know, you still get a lot of value from it. But I think if you're invested and you really try to, you know, dive in deep and just really, you know, we all have questions. And if you can just overcome that like barrier and fear of, hey, like I'm going to speak in front of everyone or something. There's so much to be said about that. And if you're not able to be on the Zoom calls for, any reason, life happens, whether you have kids or you get caught up on a call with a couple or whatever the case may be, thankfully everything is recorded and you can always go back and rewatch things even after Mastermind is over, which is the coolest part too, because sometimes you can be on the call and something happens, you got to hop off and you might miss something that's, Multiply Media said or LaRev said, but you can go back and just at your own time, whatever that may be, you can go back and kind of catch up on that. It was very, I loved how it was just all structured and where everyone had a chance to speak, kind of just raise your hand on Zoom, right? Little emoji. And that kind of created like a nice little line. So you can kind of see the order of people who have questions. So if you're out there, you're just wondering like, man, is this even worth it for me? And are my questions going to be answered? The answer is yes. Just don't be shy. Know that it's a safe space. Everyone's on the same boat. Everyone is like-minded, which is a huge plus. We're all kind of striving for the same thing, is to become better individuals, for life and also for our businesses. So that's my take on that. I hope I answered your question, Nick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to throw something out there too. I know there's a couple of questions. One thing that we have done, I know that some people are like, oh, I see this big hype party on this video. I see like that there's big group chat and things that we do. Did I lock up? Am I frozen?
Nope,
You're back.
You're
You're
good.
back. You're back. You went robot for like 10 seconds.
Whoa, that was weird. Sorry, guys. Everybody froze but me. All right, I'm going to start over with what I was saying. Just pretend
Please
that I
do.
wasn't a robot. What I was getting at is there's like these hype videos, these big parties, these big things, which are great for the extrovert. We know that not everybody's an extrovert. And so we have like during the Zoom calls, Nick and I will teach for a while, and then we'll do breakout sessions where we will send 4 or 5 of you to a smaller Zoom room to discuss content from what we had just talked about and answer questions. And so you can get that like smaller group vibe and a bigger group vibe. And then like Boomer's question about like what happens at the retreat, there were people that were jumping off the roof and flying to the pool and doing stuff. But then there was a bunch of people just chilling at the hot tub and just talking and having conversations, or out in a cabana, or doing a yoga lesson together, or staying up super late, like in our Airbnb, just around the hot tub or the pool, and just staying up till 2 or 3 in the morning, having conversations that like really are effective. And so we've kind of built that with the idea that like not everybody loves to talk in front of everybody. So there's a chat where you could type in your question, or our goal though is to like help you shave years of time off of your learning curve and things like that. So, all right, please. I hope nobody took a screenshot of me being a robot. I saw in the comments. Thanks, Radioactive Kangaroo.
Yeah. Blake, why don't you put the link in the chat? I know we're chatting a lot about Mastermind tonight. So if there's anyone that is interested in applying, again, we're asking for a commitment from people, but to apply, there is no commitment. Just kind of check it out, fill out the application, and then, we'll go from there. We are closing down the application process tonight at midnight. So make sure that you get those applications in tonight.
Yeah. I think that Jenna's here. What's up, Jenna?
What's up, guys?
Who are you?
Hey. I'm Jenna.
Good. I like it.
Oh, is that
She's
it?
here.
Is that it? Okay,
That's
cool.
it. Yep.
Cool.
Nailed it. But really, who are you?
My name is Jenna. I live in the great city of Philadelphia right now. And my business name is just my name, Jenna Scotty Video. And in my 4th year of business now.
Okay. What do we want to ask her real quick, Nick, since she's new here? Her perspective of Mastermind for this year,
Sure,
or why she joined?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Cool.
One of those.
I loved Mastermind so much. The community alone was really like what did it for me, I think. Like obviously the education and the guest speakers is so valuable, but just building this incredible network of people in the same business, people that can relate to your struggles and you can talk things through with at any time, and just hold each other accountable. Like, that's been most valuable to me. And coming back from this retreat that we just had, like, I feel energized, I feel motivated, like I learned some really valuable things in person, like watching other people shoot right next to me. And I've been like, every day since we got back, I've just been working on editing like nonstop. It's been very refreshing, very great. And yeah.
Great. Love it. If you have a question, we've got 5-10 minutes here left that we're going to do before we hop off tonight. Want to thank everybody that's on this panel for being here. Jenna for joining just with a random Facebook DM a few minutes ago. So thanks for being part of this. But yeah, any other questions that you have? I think I saw some questions in the chat just about, I can't remember where they are.
Zahir has a question, and he put basically how many people are in the group typically, and what is the internal referral system? And so last year we had 80 students. The year before that we had about 40. And how the referrals thing work, we just encourage people to, hey, I got a wedding for this weekend, I'm booked and I can't do it. Is there anyone that's available? Like, it's not like you have a quota or something like that, like, oh, you have to put 5 inquiries or something in here like that. But, we want to extend a hand to people that are working harder at growing their business and getting better and doing that stuff. And it's a great way. I know a lot of people really want to get into destination work and travel work and that sort of stuff. So it's kind of a good and an easy door to open, because if anyone wants to come to Wichita, Kansas, right? Well, we're booked. So here, Darian, you want to come to Wichita? Like that kind of stuff can happen, and it can open doors for you that way. So we just encourage all of our students to post their inquiries when they're booked, or budget's too high or too low, or whatever, to put them in there.
Yeah, the referrals, it's fun to watch them and people taking photos with each other, second shooting with each other, or like being in the same city and stopping by and having coffee or lunch, or that sort of thing is great. As far as like referrals, it's very much like we don't make it mandatory, but we're like, hey, if you're booked, post your referrals, in the group, and it's fun to see people do that. What was the other half of that question? Oh, how many people are in the group? Did you comment on that? Okay.
Yeah, I did.
I was reading more comments. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm sure you said a good answer.
You listened very intently.
Yeah. Daniel had a question that said, what's the pricing structure for Mastermind? So we have options that start at $200 a month, and that does not include a retreat ticket. And we have packages that go all the way up to $1,000 a month for VIP, extra meetings, extra retreat in person, 2 mentor sessions that are 60 minutes, extra film reviews, branding and logo audits, and all. Like, there's a bunch in between there. The average person will spend somewhere around $400 a month, and we have that now in an 18-month option, which is $266 a month. So, but you get access to all the live calls, the referral network, the Facebook group, and then our Mastermind Lite does not include a retreat ticket. So you can always upgrade and add a retreat ticket. But you get a full year of content, a retreat at the end of the year, and then we have like a Mastermind Plus that includes some extra mentor sessions and some extra stuff, and then that VIP I was talking about. So about the cost of a wedding, maybe a wedding and a half. And we're not, I've said this a lot on calls this week. This is not a magic pill to make you your money back in 3 months, 6 months. That's not what this is set up as. This is an investment into your business, into building community for a long-term result. We have noticed that the majority of people do raise their prices, like Darian saying, what'd you say your prices you did this last year, Darian, in the last year?
I went from an average of 3,000 to 7.
Okay. So yeah, that happens, but we're not guaranteeing that. But Darian was at the meeting. She was invested. She did the VIP option, and she spent $8 or $10 grand to do that. and paid to go out to Denver for an extra retreat and paid to be in the room with the people. And she, since knowing her, has invested into education. And it's like, oh, well, yeah, the people that do that, that invest into relationships and networking and being in the room are the ones that I want to refer. I want to give Darian work because she's always there and she's always got a great positive attitude. And so anyway, the people that are like, ugh, that's way too expensive. We get it. It's probably not the right fit. And we're not saying like somebody the other day I was on a call and they said, I really would need to book like 3 weddings in the first 2 months. Is that possible? And I'm like, no, it's not possible. Like, do not do it this year. It's not the right fit for you. So just wanted to hit on that. So I start to get passionate about it. So
yeah. I was going to say a lot of this is Darian touched on this, but you get in what you put out. And, it's like the thing that I'm coming back to is like marketing and Facebook ads or Google ads. And people are like, oh, I tried it once and it didn't work for me. And so they just quit it. And they're like, nope, not going to. And I think that something like Mastermind, that could be it for you. If you just like, I sign up and I'm paying money, but I'm not going to meetings. I'm not rewatching stuff. I'm just in it for this retreat. You're not going to get the benefit from it. You have to put in the energy, you put in the work. If Darian wouldn't have, gone to the mentor sessions with us and, listened to her meetings, she probably wouldn't have doubled her prices this last year. But she did. She put in the work. And that's another thing why, she said all these great things about the program and stuff. But we had very little to do with that. All we did was really encouraged her and gave her a little push. She was still the one that did the work. And so that's one thing that we want all of our people to do is we have created a space to encourage you so that you can go forward and do this stuff and grow your business how you know you should. Yeah. John, you're muted.
You're muted, John.
You're muted, John. And now
I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. I said anything else from the panel. I got Blake to talk. That was great. Blake, Blake, you're here. Hi, Blake.
I am here.
What has been your perspective? Because you're in a very unique position as like the Oz behind the curtain, the Wizard of Oz. It's a movie that came out before you were. Anyway,
before any of us.
Yeah. For a lot of us, you get to see the behind the curtain. You've been with us now since nearly the beginning of the podcast. What's your perspective of all this?
It's interesting. Also, sorry if I haven't talked very much. I'm trying to.
You're doing a lot. Yeah.
I'm doing this live while we're doing it and pulling comments and stuff. But it's been interesting to see because kind of where this was birthed out of. Came from the relationship that John and Nick and I have had the last few years, where we've bounced stuff off of each other and watched each other get better because of what we stink at, we help each other with. We've helped each other with if it's business or pricing or marketing or graphics or lighting for our setups or whatever it's been. And then watching all three of us just get way better, way faster than we would have alone. It's kind of where a lot of this came from. So, I mean, seeing, and there's a lot of like teaching and education and things like that come into it with the speakers, but what you get from just the community of people around you is insane. It's crazy when you're in a big group of people who are all trying to do the same thing, being able to leverage all those resources together. It's insane how fast people have grown in this. So we do these film reviews and I'm man in the chair getting to watch these all the time. And we do Mastermind students. They kind of get priority on when they can have their films reviewed. Sorry. We've had some of those Mastermind students come through the film and I'm like, this stuff is insane. Like people have only been doing this for a couple of years. And I was like, I will put my name on that. Like this is better than anything I've ever made. It's incredible how fast some of these Mastermind students are getting really, really, really good with this program. So yeah, that's what I would say.
And also Amber's with you. Hi, Amber.
Hi, guys.
Amber, the editor. No.
Oh man.
All right. We got a couple more minutes to answer questions. I was going to throw it back to Cherish. Cherish, I'm really interested on your take on just what you saw at the retreat. And just like we've known Lindsay, we've seen Lindsay in real life a lot. He's been to he's a little more extroverted. You're kind of like the one that does all the real work, and Lindsay says that. But was really excited to be in the room with you. Just even your perspective on what it was like at the teacher's house, after hours, what we were up to, or any perspective that you had on like what you're seeing, because you pull a lot of strings in Rev Films and know who's who and how to connect and how to network. And you guys talk about that a lot in your talk with our mastermind students, but maybe, talk about what your thoughts were when it came to just the whole thing over in California a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I think like you had mentioned before about like extroverts and introverts, and how hard it could be for some people to be in a big giant group setting. I mean, there was a lot of people at the retreat, which at first seemed maybe a little intimidating, but because you had like pockets of times and moments where it could get more intimate. We had the privilege of hanging out at the house with a couple of speakers and stuff, and just being able to play a board game, or just talk about Lindsay's bands that he was in, and share music, and do stuff that was like outside of talking about videography all the time. We have obviously our friends and our personal lives and our family, but they don't understand us the same way that other filmmakers understand us, and the life that we all live. But that doesn't mean that we have to talk about videography the whole time. And so it's nice to kind of like get to know each other on during those intimate moments. And then like you said, I haven't been a part of it, but the breakout rooms, I think that's a fantastic way to do that. And then again, just in person, being able to connect on a deeper level and not just surface level things.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right, Nick, what else do you want? Anybody else on the panel want to say anything that's like burning in their soul while we're sitting here, just to let people know?
I'll let them think of maybe something they want to say. Benjamin Kelly Productions has a question that I just wanted to share, and Jenna, you popped in my mind with this question, so be ready. He said, "Can you speak more on going from knowing next to no other videographers to knowing others, having them help you shoot and getting referrals?" So I don't know if the knowing next to no other videographers was necessarily where you were, but I know you connected with some others locally and stuff.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say I knew 0 videographers, but not that many. I have more like photographer friends in the business. So it was a little bit lonely. And I was able to meet John Morgera, one of our mastermind colleagues, and he's based 30 minutes from where I live. And so we've both like second shot for each other, and he's the best. And just like, we would have never met otherwise, which is super cool. So we met on Zoom, and then we work for each other all the time now, and it's been really great. And just to have a friend that is so close and can go to for anything is a huge perk of Mastermind for sure. And then met some other like Northeast folks too, not too far. And it's been really great.
Yeah, that's awesome. Any of our other alumni want to have anything to say about that question?
Yeah, I can kind of piggyback on what Scotty was saying about, I just like saying Scotty, it's just fun.
It works.
It even, like in Florida, there was like quite a few of us. A couple of them were not able to make out to retreat, but even from outside of Florida, like just being able to connect with so many other awesome videographers and like-minded people, like it's just so cool to know, like if I'm ever, like the Carolinas or Wichita, Kansas for some reason, you could just kind of meet up with everybody. Like you have family now. It goes past of like a business and all that. Like it literally becomes a family, and it's just really cool to be able to, just say like, hey, even if I don't have a wedding, but I'm going to go to so-and-so city or state, hey, I'm going to hit up so-and-so that's in the area or whatever and just meet up for coffee or, I don't know, go out to eat or something. Mastermind just presents way more than just, hey, is anyone like 30 minutes away from me? No, it's okay. It's just like this awesome web. Like we even have friends now across the ocean in the UK. Like that's pretty cool. Not sure whenever I'll go to the UK, but whenever I do, like I know I have a handful of people there that I can count on or just meet up and, you know, catch up and whatnot. But yeah, it's guys, I'm telling you, if you're on the fence about Mastermind, like just hop off. Just come to the side, just join, it's life-changing. It's I mean, words cannot do it justice. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
That's why we brought you on. Thank you. Your check is in the mail.
Yes. I can go now. Bye.
Yeah.
Okay, see ya. See ya. Thanks.
Please. Bye. Bye.
I wanted to say one thing really quick, and then we got to go. But one of the other reasons that I like popping into the groups too is kind of like what Alex said, knowing different filmmakers in different states and cities and areas. There's often times where, because we do primarily destination work, that if we need a second or a third shooter or whatnot, you know, we're looking sometimes within the Mastermind group. Okay, is there anybody in this area that we could, you know, tap into and see if they could film with us? So yeah, we have had some of the people in Mastermind work with us, and so that's another benefit that I really like about it.
So are you saying if they join, they'll get to shoot with Larev? Is that what you're saying?
They will be considered.
That's a big
strongly considered. No, like
we put that on the website by chance.
Eric and I have somebody that we're looking for, and we even had this conversation. We said, well, let's wait until after like the Mastermind retreat, you know, before we make a decision on who we want to bring to this event with us, because we were there, you know, looking to see, like
we were scouting.
So TBD on the update on that. But no, I think again, and for everybody else, you know, if you start to get into destination or you get that wedding outside, you know, it's going to be so much more helpful to find somebody in Mastermind that's already in that market that you can bring along with you for the ride and film with them and stuff like that. And then just one last thing, you know, in 2020, when COVID hit, it wasn't Mastermind, but we had a different group that we were a part of. And that like saved us so much in so many ways. Our business, our, you know,
emotional well-being,
our sanity, you know, and you might think, well, everything's great, my business is running great, but you don't know like what's coming. You don't know what could happen in the future. And so to not have a group of people that you can rely on to help you kind of weather any of the storms that come up in business, it really is short-sighted. So that's our 2 cents. We'll see you guys in Mastermind 2023.
Thank you so much for being amazing.
We're going to go to Grandma's house now.
All right.
We're going to Grandma's house.
Have fun. We love you guys. And we'll see you in a couple weeks when we start going live. Thanks for taking the time. Buddy G has a question, guys. I don't know if you've seen it in the chat. He's been wanting to make sure that we hit it. And I just want to make sure we get your answer, buddy. Also, I talked to Buddy earlier today, I think so, on a call. But Buddy, the question that he asked, and it was, do we tell you that you need to buy more gear? If you actually need more, like specific, like if you don't have any audio equipment, yeah, we would say, hey, yeah, you should probably pick up some audio equipment. But you're not going to get into this and need, or we're not going to be like, oh, you need to upgrade all your cameras. You need to spend $25,000 on this. We did tell people, hey, you really should consider saving some money for better audio, better lights, better stuff. Like you should be doing that. But like, we're not going to immediately tell you, hey, you need to go buy a bunch of new stuff. Just as similar where we told people like, you might consider getting a new website and new copy, and that's going to be like 10 grand, like to do it right. You might be ready for that. You might not. But if you said, hey, I'm shooting on an iPhone 7, yeah, we're probably going to tell you to pick up like a R6 or something, you know, or something, or rent some gear or something. But it's not, we're not going over the top on you need gear, any of that stuff. And anybody wants to chime in on that? Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say one thing that we said over and over again to people that, you know, would get in, and especially when we talked about websites and branding. I know a lot of people like, oh, I need to redo my website. I need to do this when they're already investing, you know, a few $1,000s in Mastermind. And it's just like, it's a lot. And like, hey, maybe like what's a stopgap? Like, what can you do that will be good for now while you're continuing to learning, and then save up to maybe invest in something later, you know? And John and I are also really big on do what you can afford. Like, what's the best thing that you can get with what you can actually pay for? We're firm believers in like not taking out debt and not, you know, living that way. And so if you, you know, if you can't afford a $8,000 camera, then we're like, okay, you don't need to shoot on an $8,000 camera, right? Like you can make it work that way. So, yep,
I love it. Anybody else want to chime in on that? I know that Multiply Media has been sitting here like in the Brady Bunch, right in the middle the whole time. I feel it's like anything else. Yeah, what do you guys want to chime in real quick?
I'll say one more thing. So we have an office in downtown Denver. We share it with 2 other filmmakers. Films by Stanton. Yeah,
you may have heard of him.
He's my smaller guy. He's right. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, did I mess something up?
No.
Okay. All right. And Drew, the director, he does like brand stuff, and we've developed this office. There's been a lot of talk about like accountability, you know, and what that means, and trying to find community within, or trying to find what was the word that I just said? Holy cow.
Community?
No, not community.
Accountability.
Accountability within community. So sorry. And so we have this goals meeting every Monday morning, right? And we talk about what we want to get done throughout the day. We explain why we want to get these goals done. And right in front of me is this 10 by 5 foot whiteboard, right? And it's all 4 of our goals listed, you know. So Stanton has one section, I have the other, Drew has the other, Sarah has another section, and we all like write down our goals. And so Stanton has right below his goals, he has a quote that he wrote. It's like this paragraph, and I want to read it really fast. And this is what I see every single day, because my desk is right here, and then I'm seeing this paragraph that he wrote right above me. It says, goals put intent behind action, tangible action, steps towards the person I am becoming. Without goals, the vicissitudes of life control my thoughts, actions, and path. I choose to push back, to strive for more, to dream, and to act on those dreams. While goals are vital, I accept who I am in the now, knowing that tomorrow is not promised, and to enjoy life that I am given today. So,
wow.
I know, it's crazy. So I am a huge believer in putting myself into positions where like I can be pushed, and people who are like way better than me, right? And seeing that quote, and seeing, you know, the goals that he has, and Drew's what he wants to do, and Sarah's goals and mine, you know, it pushes me forward, you know. And so if you're looking for a place or an environment or a community that you will have the opportunity to have accountability, this is the place to go. Mm-hmm. If you don't know that many videographers, or if you're looking to be pushed, you know, that's the place to go for sure.
Love it.
Love it. Somebody took a breath. Are you okay, Nick? Are you laughing at the Michael
I'm laughing
Scott
at
comment
Blake.
that
Was
Blake
that Blake?
posted? Oh yeah, Blake.
What
After you quoted that boomer, Blake wrote Michael Scott /Stanton.
Wait, what did Michael Scott say?
It's an Office quote. The Wayne Gretzky, you miss 100 some of the shots you don't take.
Do you
Wingers.
not know when
Michael
Michael
Scott.
Scott Paper Company?
Michael Scott Paper Company, classic.
Okay, I was wondering. I was like, what just happened? That's so funny.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, this has been fun. We appreciate all of your time. We could sit here and talk shop all the time. The good news is this doesn't have to stop. If we want to have some chats like this, you can join in on Mastermind. Applications close at midnight tonight. Someone asked, when can you, applications close at midnight, but when can you be done joining by or whatever? We are going to go through ASAP. Like midnight is when we're kind of closing the doors, and then tomorrow we're going to go through and have people kind of make final decisions on stuff if they haven't by midnight tonight. Our goal again is never to twist people's arm, but you either want in and know you should do it. My final thought to you is, imagine yourself, future you is calling you 1 year from today. They are calling and they're talking to you. What are they saying to you? Are they saying, should you have done Mastermind or should you have waited? I don't know the answer to that question. I see all you guys. Oh man, you can put music on this?
Yeah, I can put music on it. I just figured it out.
Yeah. Do the sermon thing. I'm about to
Getting real inspirational right now.
You're wrapping
so
up your
future
sermon.
you,
Yeah.
future you is calling. If you feel that tug, that's not right. I can't.
Nope,
do
hold
that.
on.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Oh, here it is.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm
This is more dope.
dying.
This is it.
I'm dying.
But for real though, fly Eagles fly. Wait, ew, gross. By the way, the Chiefs are totally going to win, and I think I'm going to Nick's house to watch Super Bowl. But Mastermind closes at midnight. The applications.
Yes.
We're really excited about it. We think you should do it. Nick, anything else you want to add before we head out tonight?
No,
okay.
guys.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Sarah
Thank
and
you.
Boomer need to sing our way out. I forgot. A bunch of people asked for Sarah and Boomer to sing the way out.
Oh my god.
No, he's like, nope,
screen.
I'm done.
You have to sign up if you want to hear us sing.
Oh, is that a promise?
Wow.
Is that a promise?
First meeting, first live. We'll open it up.
That'd be awesome if you guys made us a dope jingle for Mastermind. I'm
Wait,
just saying.
that would
Bet.
be so
Bet.
dope.
Bet on what? What does that mean?
I'm
just
down.
kidding. I'm
I'm
kidding.
down.
Where? Get up. Don't be down. And what are you betting on? What are you talking about?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, I feel like we failed.
Anyway, all right. We love all of you all. Thank you so much to everybody that's been tuning in, listening. Hopefully this has inspired you to want to hang out with us more. And until next time, we will see you.
See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.